Hello and welcome back to Agrarian Skies. We're still on our skyblock out in the middle of nowhere, and you'll see in my hand we have ancient spores, and that is thanks to the fact that we have a nice little automated process set up over here. I'm going to run through everything that I have real quick. We're going to complete a couple of quests because I pretty much have everything I need to do them, and then we're going to jump into using these ancient spores for stuff and kind of complete a few more quests. You'll notice first of all that I made some more seared bricks and made this another level higher, so I have more space. I have 58 iron ingots now, so we're not running out of those anymore. And if you're wondering how I was able to do that, that's because I have a ton of resources in here, and that is all thanks to this. Now, how am I doing that? It's actually pretty simple. We have a single igneous extruder over here with 1 bucket of lava, 1 bucket of water. That can make cobblestone indefinitely. The cobblestone is coming through this item duct and dropping into all of these crucibles. The lava from the crucibles is being pumped out into a lava generator. The lava generator is set up next to a pulverizer, and the pulverizer takes things like cobblestone and turns it into gravel. It can take that gravel and turn it into sand, and take that sand and turn it into dust. And there's also a 10% chance each time that you grind something up to be the next level below. So, for instance, cobblestone will turn into gravel, and has a 10% chance of also giving a byproduct of an extra piece of sand. All of that goes into the autonomous activator, and I actually have 3 of those because I also have a whole bunch of emeralds and a whole bunch of diamonds because it's been taking a lot of gravel. Now, it's stopped here because I have this set up to first slot only. You can set it up on round robin, and what that will do is make it so that it flips around each of these. Now, I'm going to walk away from this real quick and then come back over here and dump out the stuff that it just handed me because I don't have a whole lot of space in my pack right now as it is. I'm going to toss this stuff in here. And what doesn't fit will go in here, and what doesn't fit in there we'll just hold on to for now. I also made the sifter, which is pretty simple to do. I'll go ahead and show you that. It's just planks and sticks and a fishing net, which is just sticks and string. So I made one of those, and that actually completes a quest for us. So we actually have the zombies killed, so we get an extra half a heart. Might as well do that. We have survival is not tasty. We've built the sifter, so that means that we get 16 maggot bait and a quarter of a heart, as well as a reward bag. So I'm going to go and just pick the last one. And the it's automatic quest just needs the aqueous accumulator. So we're going to go ahead and build that now, because that is something else that's kind of cool to use. But first, we're going to see what our reward bag is. Whoa! Gas tiers. That's actually really awesome. That's useful for things like brewing and stuff. And I believe we can take a look at this. I feel lighter already. Let's see if brewing is in here. Potion of regeneration, mundane potion. So it doesn't do a whole lot, but mundane potions unfortunately don't have a use. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, you'll notice that I have a lot of resources in here, and that's because right now I'm getting a lot more than I know what to do with because of this automated process. It's just moving way too quickly. So I'm going to have to find a way to start automating some things. But the next thing to do is plop down these ancient spores. Works the same as grass seed. It turns it into mycelium. Now I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe that if I do this, yeah, it makes it grow a little bit faster. So we can go ahead and fill all this stuff up with mycelium nice and quickly. And if we need to expand, we just need to make sure that we either have silk touch or that we expand from this. So now we have plenty of mycelium here. Now the cool thing about it is that we can take these. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what we're going to do is grab some water. Now, water when it is in, or when it's in a barrel that is on mycelium, the water in the barrel will turn to witch water. And witch water is kind of cool because, for one, as long as witch water is in the bucket, it also makes mushrooms automatically spawn in mycelium, which is really cool. I'm also kind of afraid that we'll end up having monsters spawn there, so I'm just going to put that there and here. I'm going to get better light sources eventually, too. I believe there are some lamps that we can use. And also, I'm still used to playing around in the RAR pack, so I'm jumping a lot more than I should. But yeah, as you can see, we get lots of mushrooms that just kind of spawn up. So the cool thing is we have about 12 squares right now that mushrooms can spawn on. And the other cool thing is that this witch water can be used for something else as well. The first thing we need to do, I'm going to get rid of this dust. I'm going to put this here and go ahead and get rid of the dust first. Yeah, we can take all those, and we can use those for other stuff. And then in order to complete that quest, we need a soul sand. And here's the cool thing. You can get soul sand without going into the nether by taking a sand. The same way that you put dust in a regular barrel of water, you can put this in here, and that turns it into soul sand. So now that we have that all done, we get to pick our poison. I'm going to go with a raw fish. I don't really need a wooden sword for anything. I can't remember what it has, but I don't think it's anything super impressive. I do not have enough space in my pack, though. So let me toss that in there. Hey, look at that. We actually got some nether quartz, too, which is kind of useful. We can use that to get started on some stuff in applied energistics. Okay, let me drop that off there. Oh, that's the other cool thing, too, that I actually had happen. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so I forgot to light that up, which is kind of a bummer, but I'll just stay up here until all of those despawn. What did spawn, however, is a sheep. I actually just happened to come down here and I saw one there, so I actually got some wool from him, which is pretty cool. I'm just gonna make another chest because I don't have places to sit stuff right now, but I need a place to sit stuff, so I'm just gonna start dropping things in here that I don't need. I'll actually get rid of this. There we go. Okay. And that's going off now. We have lots of cactus seeds in here. We have some exotic seeds. We have another yellorium dust, which is always nice. The more of those we get, the closer we can get to a big reactor. And when we have a big reactor, then we'll be in good shape for power. And the other cool thing about the big reactor is that that will actually allow us to power things like the laser drill, which basically means we'll never need resources again. But we'll get into that later. So the plan for today is, for one, I need leadstone energy conduit, which requires glass, lead, and redstone, I believe. And redstone right now is kind of my limiting factor. So we're going to need to set this up a little differently so that instead of just pulverizing this into gravel, it pulverizes it up into gravel, then into sand, then into dust, and then throws it into the autonomous activator. So that's what we're going to look at doing today. I believe that I can do that by simply changing where these things go, and instead of having it drop out like this, I'm going to have them come up and then into another grinder that's right next to this, and then we can toss the sand into a third one, and in the meantime I'll just try to automatically get some dust from other places. See, one thing that I can do is turn this off. That should... oh no, I guess it doesn't. I had it set up a little bit differently before, but I changed it, and apparently I no longer need a redstone signal on that output. And holy cow, look at all the skeletons. I'm going to sleep and kill all of those. But yeah, we'll worry about getting the automation stuff set up in a little bit. I guess for now, the easiest thing to do would be to make the aqueous accumulator, which isn't very difficult. So let's go ahead and take a look at the recipe for that. Glass, tin, pneumatic servo, machine frame. So all we need is one redstone for that, and I don't see it. And there's one. So we need some glass. I'm going to do that. Let's grab some sand. Oh, we actually have a couple there already, too. We'll need a couple more than that, though, so... Drop that in there. Oh, and there's actually some more sand right there, too. Okay. Now... Oh, the other thing I also made is another drain and a basin instead of one of these. So instead of getting out an ingot at a time, I can get out 9 ingots at a time. Alright, we'll just leave the creepers there. Actually, no. We're supposed to get a bunch of... Oh, yeah, look at all of that stuff. I do love the bone axe. Being able to kill all mobs except angry zombies and endermen in 2 shots is very nice. And I could add other stuff to it, but honestly, it does a pretty good job on its own. Since we have that, though, I'm going to go ahead and toss this and a bone up here. Actually, I don't know that it changes a whole lot, but yeah. 3 bone meal versus an entire bone definitely works better for the hatchet. Okay, so that should be enough iron now. Actually, it's probably more than enough iron because I don't think I need that much. We need 2 glass. Now we need a gold. And 4 glass and 4 iron. That makes our machine frame. So let me go machine frame, pneumatic servo, bucket at the top. We need 2 tin, which I believe we still have in here. And 2 more glass, which should be right here. I'll take it all. And we pop the glass down, and that. Bam, aqueous accumulator. Now that we have that done, we complete another quest. And we'll go for the last bag again. Okay, so powering up is the next thing to do, and that's a steam dynamo. Ooh, the fungus among us we completed, but didn't actually claim the reward, apparently. Oh, that's right, we ran out of space. Okay, so the aqueous accumulator is a pretty cool thing. If anyone hasn't seen it before, basically you just put it near water source blocks, and it will automatically harvest the water as though it's an infinite water source. The more water source blocks that are around it, the faster that it goes, and then it can pump stuff out through a liquid duct or any kind of liquid pipe into different things. So for example, if we had an igneous extruder that instead of making cobblestone was just making regular stone, it actually uses the water. But if you had an aqueous accumulator set up to it, it would constantly fill up with water, and then you could indefinitely make stone. So that if you wanted to do things like make stone bricks and make things look a little bit prettier, you can do that. For the time being, I don't have a use of the aqueous accumulator right now, but we will have some eventually. There's plenty of reasons to have infinite water sources coming in. I'm going to go ahead and first use this. Not so good reward. Drying racks. So, not the best, but that's all right. We'll get by. We can make a whole heart and half a heart. We'll toss that heart in here, and bam, up to 6 lives. All right. And this is fire aspect 5. So the raw fish will actually light mobs on fire, which I don't know how that happens. But I guess worst comes to worst, I can always use it as a food source too. But we'll hold on to it there for now. I'm going to toss this broken nickel over here because I don't need that. We are starting to fill up here again now. The one thing that is kind of a bummer is that this is taking things and throwing them into, not into stacks like it should. Like you can see, like all of those cocoa beans are just hanging out. These were just hanging out. And I tried to figure out how to get that fixed, but it just kind of throws them wherever it wants to. Sometimes it throws them on a stack and sometimes it doesn't. So we're going to probably have to try to get to an ME network as soon as possible so that that's no longer an issue. No more mushrooms, just kind of a bummer. Oh, that's right. These guys should all be dead down here now, right? Yeah. All right. No new animals spawned yet, but this platform out here I'm going to eventually turn into a place for spawning more animals. The bigger it is, the better chance there is of things spawning, and the more space there is for others to spawn. I think right now, because there's already a sheep in there, the chance of other things spawning is just too low, because every animal needs lots of lots of space when it actually spawns, where there are no other animals in the area. So the more animals that there are, the less chance there is. So we're going to build pens for everything individually, but then we're also going to have that large spawning area where they can just kind of, spawn as they will. And once we have at least 2 of every animal, then we'll be in good shape to make as many as we want of our own. So I'm going to drop down here. And I'm not quite finished this, but I should get close. But that's the cool thing about having that igneous extruder there. We don't need to cut down trees anymore to have building materials, and we're not actually using any resources or any of our time to get more cobblestone. We just have to basically sit around for a little bit and do other things, and then every once in a while check back, and voila, we have another stack. So yeah, all that automation stuff is actually helping out quite a bit. We have all the resources that we'll need now. The only difference is there are some things that we still need to do, like get dust and sand along with the gravel in there, and then also eventually set up something to take soul sand out of here and put the soul sand through another sifter as well. So that's something else that we can automate, but it's not super pressing. We do need nether quartz for stuff, but I think we can get away with it for now. So let's go ahead. I just want to see. The Yemi controller is the first thing that you need, and that needs Fluix crystals, an advanced processor, and iron ingots. So Fluix crystals require, nether quartz, Certus quartz, and redstone. The advanced processor needs quartz cutting knife, which we can very easily make, diamonds, redstone, and silicon comes from raw plastic or from nether or Certus quartz dust being smelted. So there are lots of things that we will need, and one of the biggest things is getting nether quartz, and the only way to really get nether quartz is by soul sand or going into the nether. Now I can go into the nether, but since I'm not really tooled up, I'd be a little bit anxious about doing that. The cool thing is we have lots of iron, so it wouldn't be difficult for me to make everything to do that, and you know what, to heck with it. Why don't we go ahead and do that? I'll empty out my pack as much as I can so that I don't lose anything if I actually die in the nether, which, especially in Agrarian Skies, is quite common because there's just tons of dangerous, always going to kill you things in there. But if we get rid of most of the things that we don't need, including this, because I don't want to lose that, and the creepy doll, because I don't really need that. So we have our bow, we have that, we have that, we have that, we have that. We have iron ingots. We don't need the rotten flesh, but losing that isn't going to be a real pain. I think I can put that in there. And now we can come over here, and I think that's enough to really get us tooled up with some armor. Iron armor isn't great, but it's better than nothing, that's for sure. Because that's what I'm working with right now. And a full set of iron armor gives us... Alright, so almost fully protected. Diamond armor would be a little bit better, but for the time being, iron's definitely good. So yeah, that's actually looking alright. So we have a bow, we have plenty of arrows, we have some extra iron that I'm not going to take with me because there's no sense in losing that. I'll just toss this in here for now. And some sticks and bones, which aren't really going to bother me to lose. If there's a place that I could put the bones, though, that would be nice. There we go. And now, in order to do this, we're going to need a bucket. And how we're going to do this is, first, I'm going to come over here. And actually, we can go ahead and do this right now, and I can just show you how this works. Let's go ahead and grab the fluid ducts, grab the aqueous accumulator, another water block so that we have an infinite source down here. Plop one right there. Plop this aqueous accumulator down, and as you can see, when it has water blocks around it, it just fills up with water. So that's pretty cool. Now what we're going to do is put that there, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, And I should probably not have that happen. I don't think water will actually go in there since there's already lava and other stuff in it, but just in case it ever happens to run out, let's just go ahead and turn that off. Okay, and then the other thing that we can do, how are we going to do this? Well, no, not that one. That one, maybe. Okay. There we go. So we'll do it this way instead. And one come up there, and then we can have one and two, and that'll fill up both of these. Now, we swap out for obsidian, and we just wait till we have about a dozen obsidian. And I think we'll put it out here a little ways. Let's see if we can actually get those perfect, because I like to be even on everything. We'll put one of these right here and right here. And then we'll take all these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And pop. Okay. Need a couple more. Okie dokie. Now, change this back to that. Have a couple extra obsidian, so we'll just go ahead and take those. And we can actually use the obsidian. Oh no, we fill up again. Oh yeah, we are. Okie dokie. Let me grab some of these completed stacks out of here. Gosh, there's lots of stuff that should just be in place already, huh? Grab that one out, that's full. Put those in there. Take this out. Okay, toss that in there. Geez, so much stuff, you know? That's a start at least. Toss these in here, and since there's already iron, let's go ahead and toss the obsidian, and I think aluminum? Actually, probably a little bit more aluminum. And that should actually make alumite, which is pretty good, and that will make us a sword. And then we can also make a pickaxe that can go back through and mine out cobalt and stuff from the nether as well. The other thing that we need to do is get one of these, and I believe I'm just an iron ingot. I'm used to playing the RAR pack where we actually need the Greg Tech version, but this should work. There we go. And we're ready for a trip to the nether. Should have plenty of food to get me through. Now the deal with the nether is that it's not actually a skyblock. It is just a regular nether. But there's lots of other stuff in there thanks to all the mods. And I already hear... geez, if you look on the mini-map you can see them. They're nether fish instead of silverfish. And they are terrifying and strong, and they will eat you alive. Oh, we can't actually get these too. I think it upsets the zombies in the area, but I can't remember. Okay, there must not be any close enough to actually get upset, so we're just going to go ahead and grab them while we're here. Oh, look, there's a cobalt already, but we can't harvest that. Okay, so the thing to look for, I guess, is going to be, well, glowstone dust for one, since that's easy enough to find out here. And then also nether quartz, because we'll need a lot of that. So I'm going to try to stay clear of all the silverfish things that I see roaming around. I'm not exactly sure where they are. That's saltpeter ore, not nether ore. Nether sulfur ore. This over here should be nether quartz, right? Alright. Ooh, so those apparently explode too. It's not just the added ores anymore. That's good to know. So you gotta be careful. If you're mining one, you have to mine a lot of them. I have found that if you mine just one and then stop pickaxing, it will not explode. You just have to remember to stop and start each time you're grabbing one. But I don't know how foolproof that actually is. I could be totally wrong. I don't think those guys ever end up getting angry at you, but at the risk of dying while I'm recording, I'm going to not attack him. Maybe do that later. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of happening. Good thing I had armor though, right? Geez, still lit me on fire for that. Didn't. Alright, let's swap these out for this. That way I see how many nether quartz I actually have. Alright, let's try my idea here. Nope, does not work. Good to know. Okay. So, the goal is to find as many as we can, and see, there's the silverfish. They're super fast, and they're super dangerous, and if you attack one, it kind of calls all their friends along, too. Okay, one at a time I can handle them now. Problem is, there's not really a whole lot out here right now. I figured there'd be a lot more, but there's not. That's saltpeter ore. A lot of these things aren't actually mineable. I don't know what you actually need. Now, you need manulian in order to get to that. So you need a lot of ardite, I think it is, and cobalt. And you have to mix those together to make a manulian. That's nether salt. Nether quartz. What the heck happened there? And see, this is why I don't like going to the nether. There is an angry pig zombie somewhere, I just don't know where. And I think the only reason that he's not attacking me is that he can't quite reach me. But I'm going to try to find my way back to the portal. I probably should have made a marker. I know we came from back here, so let's go this way a little bit at least. You know, the problem is there's no glowstone close by, and there's also no soul sand. I was kind of hoping to find like a little vein of soul sand so that I could get some of that as well. But there's unfortunately not a whole lot to go off of. I'm going to see if I can get up high enough with 19. I think that's enough to get close enough to harvest these. Oh yeah. So having some glowstone would be better than nothing at least. Okie doke. Alright. A lot darker than I figured it would be. I wonder if... No, that's part of the reason why. Let's change the bright to a little bit easier to see. Oh yeah, that's lots better. Okay. Now we came from... Holy crap, what is that? I think it's an upside down tree. We're going to try to not tackle anything new. Oh, I do see this, the portal, though, so we're going to run over that direction. Those guys that are flaring up different colors, I think they are special pig zombies. And a special angry pig zombie or a special baby big zombie would be the most terrifying thing ever because they're super fast and usually their attacks have like a million negative effects. So we're just going to run before this turns into something terrible. Okay, so we have a little extra nether quartz. That's good. I hate picking this stuff up. Alright, so there's 37 of that. That's helpful. And holy cow, there are a lot of bad mobs down there. How the heck did that even happen? Well, at least a lot of them are dying, I guess. Alright. No new animals yet, but that's because we don't have enough space. So we're actually about empty as far as that goes. I guess we have a lot of space for something. Oh yeah, that'd be where, huh? The only problem that I have is that I can't break all the gravel even though I have all of these things working on it. Okay, so we made our first trip into the Nether. We didn't die, but we had some close calls. And I think we completed a couple of quests today, actually. Let's take a look and see where we're at. Okay, so the powering up one, auto brewing, and the pastoral life. That requires a different set of things, so we'll need to do the Your Wizard Steve quest line to get started there. Powering up the steam dynamo is actually really easy to make, but we actually have something better than a steam dynamo running right now, so we'll get to that later. And the auto brewing thing, we need to make an auto brewer, and in order to do that, I know that we need a blaze rod. So we'll need to find a nether fortress in the nether, or we'll need to make an angry doll and put it into a stone barrel full of lava. I think that's how you can make a blaze spawn, and then you can use that. So maybe that's what we'll tackle next time. I was going to grab that. And we'll do a little bit more down here. Oh, good. The only thing left is one baby zombie. And this is why I said that a zombie pigman, or a baby zombie pigman, would be absolutely terrifying, because you saw how fast those things move. If they have the attack power of a zombie pigman, and they're a boss zombie pigman, and they move at the speed of a baby pigman, it would just be terrifying. So we won't attack those guys until I have like a set of diamond manulian armor that's all decked out to the nines with all kinds of stuff and a bunch of potions of regeneration and healing and stuff so that I might actually survive. So we'll tackle that stuff. Boy, this is a much bigger pad than I thought it was going to be. Okay. So I'll get that finished next time. I'm also going to see if I can get to that aura node. That would be kind of fun to do. And yeah, that'll be some of the stuff that we tackle next time. So we did get our manulian. I'm stuck on that now. We got our mycelium set up now because we've got some ancient spores, which is good. We have some automated processes here making us all the resources we're ever going to need. We're also getting just a crap ton of diamonds, man. It's awesome. To 18, I can make 2 diamond blocks. I can make a solar generator if I wanted to now. But we have food, we have automation, we have some cool added things here. We have all kinds of stuff. So we're going to look into completing some other major quests and maybe jumping into some other stuff later. Why not? And yeah, that's where we're going to be. But I thank everyone for watching. If there's a particular quest line out of this set that you'd like me to do next, I know that I can do pretty much just about any of them. The end is locked, but I'm guessing that's probably because we need to do a bunch of other stuff first, and with good reason, because trying to fight the Ender Dragon would probably be awful. But yeah, we're actually getting close to finished with learning the skyblock. We're over 50% complete now. We have powering up, must go deeper once, the pastoral life, and librarian that we can complete. I'll see if I can get everything ready to do those next time, except for this one. Perhaps next time what I'll do is tackle the Euro Wizard Steve and we'll get started on that. So maybe that'll be what we do next time. But I thank you for watching once again, and we'll see you next time after I get some more stuff figured out, and we'll tackle the wizarding ways. Bye.